Well, everyone, I want to introduce you to a scientist and a software engineer who has a clever idea of how to analyze and understand Hangul. And today is Hangulal.
Yay!
And you know, Hangulal is the only alphabet day in the world. Korean is the only place in the world that celebrates an alphabet day. That tells you a lot about how important Hangul is in Korea. Today is the 575th birthday of Hangulal. And to celebrate it, I have with me today Taemin Kim, who is a software engineer at Microsoft. And he's got a lot of clever ideas about how to teach Hangul. And he's got some websites and he's got a book that you can buy. So Taemin, welcome. It's nice to see you.
Thank you for kind introductions. I am Taemin Kim, who use Handle for my whole. I'm a software engineer at Microsoft working on the futuristic technology. Hangul is the most exciting project in my life because my definition of Hangul is intelligence. I have another nickname, Hangul Dongja, meaning the Hangul evangelist. Here is the highlight on YTN News that covered my Hangul event in one of the biggest international conference on artificial intelligence in 2019. And what is the first impression of Hangul to you? Okay, let's think about the Hangul design. So what is the simplistic geometric object on paper? Dot and lines. Second simplest geometric object is basic shape, which include the circle, triangle, and square.
Well, I think the connection between the articulation and the pronunciation is really nice. Like you can imagine how the mouth should be, and then you can imagine the sound. So I think it was kind of nice.
Especially if you have like engineering background, you like to see patterns and rules and how the things stick together. And this, Hangul Wing kind of approach shows this in a very systematic way.
I create the Handle Hangul YouTube channel to share my finding in the new way of Hangul acquisition method. So here are some Hangul videos created by Handle. Let's watch a teaser first.
If intelligent life came to the planet, how could you communicate, even in writing? There are only 30 writing systems to represent over 7,000 languages spoken in the world. Among all writing systems, Hangul must be prominent because of its geometric appearance. Hangul letters are grouped to represent the simple syllable. Vowel letters are simple combinations of dots and lines. Consonant letters are made of basic shape, including circle, triangle, and square. Find out any patterns in the table or stay tuned for the next episode.
Well, that's like a Rosetta Stone.
Yeah. And the second one shows the complete logics. I published it today to celebrate the Hangul Day.
All Hangul letters are listed in consonant and vowel tables. If you see any patterns to reproduce the tables, you can stop here. A red dot or lines gives you a better hint. Let's start from the scratch in the word. For vowels, we have a dot, horizontal line, and vertical line. Their combinations, placing a dot close to the line, up and down, and left and right. We can double the number of letters by adding a vertical line to the base letters.
That's very nice.
We can triple the number of letters by adding a dot next to the existing one. For consonant, we have basic shapes including a circle, triangle, and square, together with an L shape and vertical line at the top. We can derive the second row by adding a horizontal line to the base letters. Likewise, we can get the third row. Hangul Link puts everything together. There are little tweaks for square derivative. You are already halfway through to master Hangul if you can recognize and draw these logical letters by heart. The remaining thing is to build a letter sound mapping, which is completely based on the science in your mouth.
The last one shows the complete science of the Hangul consonant. 15 consonant letters are listed in a 3x5 matrix. Consider 5 articulators in the mouth that open the oral tract. They are outlined by basic shapes. The throat produces 3 sound sources with 3 different airflows. The 5 articulators with the 3 airflows compose of 15 opening sounds as in the 3x5 matrix. The 5 articulators include the lips, the teeth, tongue tip, tongue back, and throat. They are outlined by the square, triangle, L-shape, vertical line, and circle, respectively. The lip can open the oral tract and produce 3 lip opening sounds. A square outlines the closed lips. If you blow the air softly and open the mouth by the lips, then a softer sound, ma, is produced and the candle in front of the mouth is still. If we add more airflow and stop in the middle, a stopping sound, ba, is produced and the candle is waving. A line in red is added to represent the stronger airflow on top of the square. With the maximum airflow, a candle blowing sound, pa, is produced and the candle is blown out. 2 lines in red are added to represent the strongest airflow on top of the square. Note that the square derivatives are tweaked a little. Let's practice the 3 lippy sounds in a row. Ma, ba, pa. The teeth can open the oral tract with the tongue tip and produce a 3 toothy sound. A triangle or angle outlines the sharp teeth. The 3 toothy sounds are sa, ja, cha. Tongue tip can open the oral tract and produce the 3 tongue tip sounds. The L shape outlines the erect tongue tip. The 3 tongue tip sounds are na, da, ta. The tongue back can open the oral tract and produce the 3 tongue back sounds. The vertical line outlines the tongue back raised. The 3 tongue back sounds are nya, ga, ka. The throat produces the 3 sound sources with the 3 different airflows. The circle outlines the round throat. The 3 throaty sounds are h. We will practice the 15 opening sounds column-wise in the table. Let's practice the opening sounds row-wise to cross-check their articulations. The softer sounds in the first row are ma, sa, na, nya, The stopping sound in the second row are ba, ja, da, ga, The candle blowing sounds in the third row are pa, cha, ta, ka, In the mouth, 5 opening articulators with the 3 different airflow produce the 15 opening sounds in a 3x5 matrix. Note that a syllable is the minimal phonetic unit of a word that consists of an opening sound, lasting sound, and closing sound. The closing sounds are produced simply by reverse articulation of the opening sounds. The lasting sounds or connecting vowel have another story of a complete logic and science in the mouth. So here are my books titled The Hangul that explain the complete logic and science behind the Hangul. You got the complete logic and science for opening sounds called the consonant. There is the same story for the vowel. As the book Hunminjeongeum explains the writing system Hunminjeongeum, my book Hangul explains the writing system Hangul. The left one is in English, subtitled The Teaching Sounds, available at Amazon. The right one is in Korean, subtitled 소리의 가르침, available in Korea. Recently, I got to know that the Squid Game goes viral all over the world. This was the game that I used to play with the friends on the playground.
Oh.
It sparks me. I was exposed to the Hangul geometry from early days. The drama took the basic shape as a logo for the Squid Game. You saw this logo in many different ways in my video.
Yes.
Horizontal, vertical, or reversed. Hangul inventor in his Step published the Hangul manual titled 훈민정음, also known as 훈민정음 Hare, around this time in 1446. That's why South Korea celebrates the Hangul days on October 9th. In Jijong, the highest scholar under King Sejong the Great, as a concluding remark at the end of the 훈민정음, here's the remarkable first sentence. It says, there are sounds in nature, therefore there must be the natural writing system. What do you think?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's very clever.
Yeah, I think the sounds in nature here refer to the phonetics as the Hangul manual explained them scientifically. That's already amazing. Even so, imagining the writing system in nature or natural writing system could be a big stretch. There are many writing systems naturally formed throughout the human history, but there was no such concepts of the natural writing system that you can invent in the human history. How could you think of even possible? Layperson can understand that there are sounds in nature, no more. I'm layperson. Only genius can connect the random sounds in nature to the natural writing system. Now we got to know phonetics and writing system in the modern science, starting from the late 19th centuries. In 15th centuries, Hangul inventor must be subject to the inquisitions unless he was a king. Basically, Hangul transformed the invisible analog speech sound into visible digital letters that everybody can learn in a couple of hours. Only King Sejong the Great considered it differently and developed the Hangul as a scientific law. Hangul is the epitome of a scientific reasoning that connect the random circuit in the word to a scientific system or law in your brain. That's why his product Hangul goes almost 600 years now as it is, and I expect it thousands or more. There are a lot of chanting about the Hangul and Hangul inventor, followed by the first sentence. In fact, it is Jung's gospel to Hangul inventor.
Chung's gospel.
Why don't you fill out the blank on your own for the public good in the world?
Yeah, that's very good.
Hangul will reform the public education completely. Regardless of a language, everybody can pick up the Hangul in a couple of hours so that it can be used as a general phonetic alphabet worldwide. By educational impact of Hangul, kids can learn the creative and systematic thinking from the elementary school or kindergarten. Hangul itself touched the logic and science as well as the philosophy altogether. Based on these essential lessons, kids can actively pursue their academic or artistic activities. And finally, a step up to the level of King Sejong the Great. All smart people in the world are into the fourth industrial revolution defined by the artificial intelligence or machine learning, while I am aiming further at the human revolutions. This is Hangul Dongja Kim Tae-min.
Oh, that's really good. That's really useful too.